So recently we made some exciting updates with Databutton. Now Databutton can perform real-time web searches, conduct researches on this particular topic, and come back with the relevant context and the code blocks. This works both for the UI as well as for the API section. So that means you can search about any JavaScript or Python packages with Databutton. So right now I'm in the API section, and I would like to create an API called as agent. And I would prefer to use this particular library called as PhiData, which is basically a framework for building AI assistants. I would like to make that assistant search the internet, so I can use DuckDuckGo. And to adapt to that particular code block, I would ask Databutton to search the internet, find the relevant context, and we can use those code blocks further in our API. So I would prompt this way: research about PhiData and DuckDuckGo. And I think this is good enough for our Databutton agent to understand. So it's now researching about it. It's asking how to use PhiData for building an assistant, how to use DuckDuckGo API with Python SDK, and it's making simultaneous searches. It's also reviewing what it finds, all the context which it grabs. Since now the whole research is done, it comes up with a particular implementation strategy. So it asks that, would you like to integrate PhiData with DuckDuckGo into your agent API? So before we go for implementation, I would also like to check the code block out there. So I asked the agent to show me the relevant code. So it says that step-by-step integration and how we're going to do that. So it will just use the first API for our Databutton as it is necessary. It will use PhiData.assistant. So it's Phi.assistant, as you can see out here. And it will also use Phi.tools or DuckDuckGo as it's mentioned out here. And then it will define the router. Databutton needs assigning of the router, and then create assistant, and it also creates a model, the pydantic model, where it has a query and a result, and finally it creates this particular search, which is our endpoint for this agent. And now all you do is press that yes, go ahead. And once I do this, it will start installing all the relevant packages, which is the PhiData and DuckDuckGo. So now it's now editing the source code, it's reviewing the code, it's considering if anything which is working or not, it's writing the code out here. And soon you will see the code will be up here, and here it comes. As you can see, this entire code block which it suggested just now for us, it's up there already. Yes, I already see an error. That's why Databutton started to fix that error. So now the agent could fix it itself, and it now already has implemented here, and we see the green color. So we have an API just from the web search. So this is one of the scenario where we conducted the search from Databutton and we just grabbed the context and we implemented the API. The next part would be, let's say you have your own code blocks over GitHub, or you want to adapt to a new changes over any Python packages or JavaScript packages. Let's say in this case, again, PhiData recently, I think it's last week, PhiData made a commit which is about the Hacker News Assistant. So how about we ask Databutton to adapt to this particular change which PhiData made recently. So I'll just create another agent, which is basically the agent Hacker News. And I would ask Databutton right now, please research into this. So all I asked Databutton right now is, could you please research into this? And I gave the link to this particular changes or the commit which PhiData recently made. Now it's researching, it's reviewing the findings, and I hope soon it will come back with the execution plan on how to implement this in our Databutton environment. So it says that I have researched the commit you mentioned. Would you like to integrate this function into your agent API? Sure. And so now Databutton started to integrate in this particular API for us. And it says that it will proceed with the necessary changes. It's editing the source code and it's writing out here in our Databutton's editor. And soon we'll see the entire code block out here. It just takes a few seconds for it to do it. And here it is. We have this exact, the Hacker News, the newest Hacker News implementation from PhiData in our Databutton, already adapted to the first API router. The endpoint has been created. And it also has input model, which right now Databutton doesn't know what to add. So it just says pass. Also, it has the output model, which is a summary. And this entire code blocks out there with this PhiData assistant. So these are the different scenarios where you can use this research ability of Databutton to search the internet or to search a particular URL, scrape this whole content, adapt to it. Also, you can use it for any documentation as well. Just go, click it, and ask Databutton to research about this particular documentation. It will check that particular website, scrape through it, and it will give you the code blocks which you can just discuss from there on, or you can ask it to implement in your APIs. Same works for the JavaScript libraries as well. This is one of the newest addition which we have in Databutton. If you are trying to adapt to new libraries, or you are trying to adapt from a particular documentation or based on their cookbook, this is a time saver for us.